And let me share my screen. Uh, to start with, um, if I remember correctly, we had decided that we were going to take that first exam outside of class time. And so it's set up to be ready for you folks anytime after class today until mid 11:59 tomorrow night. It's timed. I believe you have 75 minutes for it. You have to do it in all one sitting. So complete at once, one single setting. It's in the test exam itself is in my lab's math, but you need to submit your work in Blackboard. So if we go and look in Blackboard, let's go to your class. In Blackboard, in content, there's a folder, tests and quizzes. In there, there's a place, exam one sets, ignore that. I should have deleted that. I had tried to make a a Blackboard test for you guys, and we decided my math lab works better. To submit your work for the exam, you're going to just do your work on pencil and paper. And then if you're doing, uploading it to a computer, you can browse your computer for it. If you're uploading it to the cloud, you can browse your cloud for it. If you're not uploading it at all, then open Blackboard on your phone. And if you open Blackboard on your phone, when you hit that browse my computer, what you get is a screen that looks something like this. Oh, not that one. Yeah, that looks something like this. And so you can click on the icon for your camera or your gallery, and your phone will immediately take a picture. Right now, I have that set up in Blackboard as an assignment, because with an assignment, you can attach several pictures. With a test, you can only attach one. So you can attach several pictures there, show all of your work. Please, 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 I'm begging you folks, please put that work in here in Blackboard, because it's all in one place. It's easy for me to grade on the surface using the stylus. And if I grade it on the surface using the stylus in Blackboard, it immediately gets saved, annotated in Blackboard, so that when you go to check your grade, you can click on it and look at the graded paper to see how I graded it, what was right, what was wrong. But again, the test itself is in my lab, and in my lab, all assignments, but it won't show up. It'll be right after homework 5, but it won't show up until after class time today. Before we get started looking at that practice test that I said that we were going to go over today, I didn't get I got a couple, but not a lot of homework questions over the weekend. Before we go over that review for the test, does anybody want to look at any questions from any of the homework assignments? And here you can see in the view that I have that exam on sets is in my math lab. Also, before I forget, somebody in one of my other classes sent me an email saying, do we have to submit our work to get credit on a test? Yes, submit your work, submit it through Blackboard, because the grade will go into Blackboard that way. And we're using the Blackboard grade book, not the My Labs grade book. I will upload your My Labs homework average to Blackboard. Hopefully before Friday, when the test should be all in and graded, so that average will be up to date for you. And but anyways, questions on any of that, or questions on any of the homework?
The homework, homework 5.
Yep.
Question 10. I couldn't get the last. I couldn't get the last one. Like the last part of the question.
Okay. This one was one that we have looked at a similar example in class, and we had kind of said that we've been going through and looking at them in the order that they come down. What you want to do is you want to fill in the entire Venn diagram based on what you know. I'm going to draw it a little bit bigger because I know that I'm not going to be able to fit it in that given Venn diagram. This is A, this is B, this is C. We start knowing that this region has 6. Then, so that's the intersection of all 3. We know that B intersects C, the overlap of B and C has 10. There's 6 in there already, so we need to add 4 more. A intersects C, this region has 11. When we subtract the 6 that's in there already, we need 5 more. A intersect B, this region has 9. When we subtract the 6 that's in there already, we need 3 more. Region C needs to contain 17. Right now we have 15, so we need 2 more. Region B needs to contain 21. Right now we have 13, so we need 8 more. Region A is supposed to contain 23. Right now we have 14, so we need 9 more. Then when we add all that up, 23, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. We've got 37 in there, so we need 7 more. Somebody check my arithmetic because, yeah, sometimes when I try to do that in my head. So then if we go through, I'm going to cheat. The Wonders of the Teacher's Version. Region. What? Where did I go astray? Oh, when you know what? Hello? When I hit that button, did you notice they changed all of these numbers on me? So I guess let's redo it.
But no, I get it. It was way easier. I was just thinking like I was doing some rocket science stuff.
No, whatever you fill in a Venn diagram, you have to start in the middle, go use all this information to fill it in order, and then after you've got the entire Venn diagram drawn, then you can go through and fill them in one at a time.
Yeah, I just see that. It's so much easier. I was just thinking way too hard.
Well, that was why I made sure to include one of those in that packet that we went through last class.
I totally understand where she's going, but I've started to do the same thing. Like, it's really not that hard. Don't put too much thought into it. And once I did that, I went back and did questions from the homework last night. And I got them right. Once I said, don't look at it too hard.
Actually, with sets, it's basically, is it in there or not? I mean, really. Exactly. And even when you're comparing sets, doing the union and the intersection, what's in there? That's really all you're doing. Does anybody want to look at any more of these homework ones? Did I wait long enough?
Is it just like questions like that? That's basically the homework because I haven't touched it yet.
The homework are questions like that, and they're also those survey questions. Questions like, this is another one like that. Poll asked respondents if they agreed with the statement, disagreed with the statement. Those are kind of building up to, it's also, what are the big bad survey questions? Towards the end. These are where you've already got the results and you're reading the diagram. Survey of 83 college students was taken to determine how they feel about what's going on. 30 newspaper. Oh, this is just a 2-loop one. Where's the big bad one? Yeah. This, yeah, and a 3-loop Venn diagram where you fill in the survey information. Okay.
That one was hard for me.
You know what? Those ones are more involved. You know, anything that has alphabet soup to it. But again, just like that.
It was like how the ladies were saying before, like they were thinking too hard about it.
Yeah.
And
You are right with that.
when she said doing rocket science, I was like, girl, yes, I feel
You are
that.
right with it now, Gabby. Were you the one that I sent a picture of the Venn diagram to over the weekend?
I think so, because I tried so hard. I really did.
Did that picture work? We were at my daughter's house and everybody
Yes.
was asleep and I didn't want to pull the tablet out because it wasn't linked to their Wi-Fi. And I'm like, how am I going to draw this? And then I remembered my new phone has a stylus. And so I actually drew that on my phone somewhere between 6 and 7 in the morning before anybody else woke up.
No, it was perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm glad that it worked. I'm always so worried when I send something to a student that I'm not clear enough. So if I send somebody asks me a question and I sent something to you, if it's not clear, get back to me because I can, you know, restate it. And I'm slowly learning that sometimes it's easier for me to do it by hand and send it as an attachment than to try to type it into an email. Did anybody want to look at any more homework or should we look at that practice test?
I wanted to look at a homework, but I don't know which one it was. Just the problem didn't make sense to me.
Can you take a minute and try to find that problem so that we can go through it? Was it in this homework?
I took a picture of it so I can tell you real quick. It's not too difficult to explain.
Okay. Can you do me a favor when you look at the picture? Is it
Yeah.
just words in your picture or does it say like the homework question number?
No, it doesn't say the
Okay.
number.
All right. Then let me go to a blank sheet of paper and we'll try to get it that way if you read it to us. All right, go ahead.
It says A, and well, not A, like the A with the
Like that?
no,
Compliment?
A, yeah, exactly. Complement of A.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And complement of B. No, together, like with the U.
A complement union B complement?
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
And then it says the word and.
Uh-huh.
And then in parentheses A. And then the U that's turned. I don't remember exactly. B.
Uh-huh.
Then close the parentheses and then the complement of that. And then it says if those two are the same or if those two are not the same. And it was simply a very simple Venn diagram with A and B and the region spelled out like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is one of those ones where it's from the preceding homework and you're asked to determine, oh, and you know what, I was a jerk. The 1, 2, 3, 4 are supposed to be Roman, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly.
So let's look at the first one. A complement would be outside of A. Are you all right that that's regions 3 and 4? Inside A is 1 and 2, so outside of A is 3 and 4.
Yeah.
B complement B complement, well, if B contains 2 and 3, outside of B would be 1 and 4. And so when we take the union of those, A complement, union, B complement, union means just put them together. So that's 1, 3, and 4. With me
Yeah.
so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now on the other side, we need A intersect B. And the intersection of A and B is where they overlap. So that's region 2. And then we want the complement of that. A intersect B complement. Well, that would be everything except region 2. So that's 1, 3, and 4. That side.
Yes. Yeah. Now it makes perfect sense, but I don't know why I couldn't. I just. Yeah, I know what the problem is. I always was counting the 2 for those. So sorry,
Okay.
my bad.
No, just when you do something, honestly, when I look at something involved like this A intersect B complement, or involved like this A complement intersect B complement, with that one on the left-hand side, there are 3 things going on. And I'm sorry, I can't do 3 things at once. And so I break that down into the smaller parts. And then you're just looking to see if they're the same or not. All right?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other homework? If not, again, what I had thought we could do today, in the previous semesters, I've always taught this course on campus, at least this part of this course, and so it was always a pencil and paper test. When I went through and picked questions out of my labs for your test, I tried to pick questions that kind of reflected what I stressed in the pencil and paper test. Again, the wording will be a little bit different. There'll be more multiple choice in the My Labs test, but I thought that what might kind of prepare you for the test is to look at that review that I had previously used for the exam. I believe that there is a copy of this in Blackboard for you. I promise that even if we don't get through the entire thing today, in the other section yesterday, we didn't get through the entire thing, but I did go through and finish it all. And so I promise I will post all of the solutions in Blackboard with today's notes. So let's look at this. Express the following set using roster notation. What does that mean, roster notation?
Like list each element inside the braces.
So I'm going to draw braces and I'm going to list the elements. So now what does this mean? My set contains x's. X's are natural numbers, and 3 is less than x is less than or equal to 9. So what am I going to put in there? Does it include 3?
No.
No, because there's no equal sign. So it'll have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Does it include 9?
Yes.
Because of the equal sign. Are we all in agreement there?
Yeah.
Okay. Question 2 says if A is that and B is that, is A equivalent to B? Why or why not? I'm going to do a little bit of strong arming. When I look at a question like this, I think it's easier to tell if you actually list what's in the set. So what's actually in set A? Natural numbers start with 1.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And what's in set B?
Vowels.
Vowels.
Which are
A, E, I, O, U.
Yeah.
And so then obviously they're not the same, but the question isn't asking if they're equal, it's asking if they're equivalent. What does it mean in order for them to be equivalent?
They have to have the same cardinality.
Right, and do they?
No.
No. So here the answer is no, different cardinality. Beautiful. Now the next group of questions. I
Sorry,
go ahead.
do we have to write different cardinality?
On the multiple choice questions in my labs, I believe that with those, I can't remember if it's just a strictly yes, no question, or if it's a yes, no, and they have explanations and you have to pick the right explanation.
But if we pick no, we don't have to write down different cardinality for as like the notes that you can
Is it
see
showing you
that
work?
we have to send
No,
in.
I would think that showing you work for this one would just involve doing this.
Okay.
Showing inside the sets. In my labs, they don't give you quite as many choices for a symbol to pick in between the sets. And so with them, there's only one correct answer. The way I had worded this, because I put so many options in the blanks, there were more than one correct answers. This first set is the set of letters in the word carpenter. The second set is the set of letters in the word car. Is everybody all right that they're both sets? So I'm not going to use the element comparison, but one of the set comparisons. Is this one a subset of this one?
No.
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 So that one's strictly not a subset. How about question number 4? The set CAR and the set CHAIR. Again, we're comparing sets, so we want to use one of the set comparisons.
That one is a subset.
Yeah.
Is a subset. Is there another one that I could use? Is it also a proper subset?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they're not equal. Okay, on the left we have 1, 2, 3. What's the set on the right?
All elements that are natural numbers less than 4.
So what would be in there?
1, 2, 3.
So how would those two sets compare?
They're equal.
They're equal. Because they're equal, could I also say that it's a subset?
Yes.
Beautiful. What's in this set on the left for question number 6?
An empty set.
And we have the set MATH. When I look at all those comparison options, again, we're comparing sets, so I'm not going to worry about the element ones. They're obviously not equal. Is the first one a subset of the second?
Yes.
Yes. Is it a proper subset? Yes, because they're not equal. 7's a tricky one. Is it everybody all right? On the left-hand side, that X, is it in a set?
Mr. Well, could you scroll up a little bit? Please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Question number 7, what's on the left? Is that a set?
No.
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 So I can't use a set comparison. So I guess if I were lazy, I could just put that it's not a subset. But now, is X an element of the box? And,
Yes.
well, let's look at that set box.
I want to say yes, but I want to say no.
Okay. Well, yes, people, defend yourselves. Is that the set with one word box, or is that the set with 3 letters B, O, and X?
It's one word.
It's
It
one
should
word.
not be an element.
So it won't be an element.
Okay.
Okay. That set has one thing in it, and it's a word box. It's not made up of letters. It's got one single word in it. How about the next one, number 8?
Wouldn't it be the same because they use?
Well, This
one is an element.
This one is made up of letters because of those commas in between. So this one, it is an element. And then question number 9. On the left, I've got 1 through 5. So I guess what's on the right? This is the set of all x such that x is a natural number. And what does that part tell me about x? Is it bigger than 10 or smaller than 10?
It's bigger than 10.
This is the set 11, 12, 13, and it keeps on going. Does it contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
No.
No. So it's not a subset or a proper subset. 10 through 12 work with this set. That's one thing that I did like about pencil and paper tests. Each question, they could refer to the same information. You're going to find with some of the other ones in my math lab when they're like unions and intersections, each question has a different set. So I apologize for that, but it's beyond my control. Question number 10, what the heck does that notation mean? How many elements are in there? So when I look at my set Q, how many things are in there?
4.
4. And is everybody all right when I'm looking at cardinality? That's just a number. It's not a set. It would be wrong if I put that in braces. We leave it out of the braces. Then the next question asks, how many subsets does that set have? Can anybody remember the formula for the number of subsets?
2 to the second power?
2 to the cardinality.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be 2 to the second, but rather 2 to the 4th.
Yes.
So right idea, just be careful. And so that would give me, I believe, 16. And if it has 16 subsets, how many of those subsets are proper?
15.
15. Proper subsets is always one less because we exclude the entire set itself. How's that one? Page 1, is everybody working on 100?
What?
If it's were a test. First page, has everybody got 100 so far? Everybody getting them all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Page 2, list all of the subsets of the set PIG, P-I-G.
It has 8 subsets.
And where did you get the 8 from?
Because you do 2 to the third power, because there's 3 elements in that set.
Beautiful. And so if I look at 2 to the third, 3 elements in the set, I want to come up with 8 subsets. So start telling them to me.
The whole thing. So P, E, G.
Beautiful.
Then P, I, IG, and PG. And then every letter by itself, and the empty set.
And beautiful remembering the empty set. Usually when I gave this pencil and paper test, the most common careless mistake was people forgot the empty set or people forgot the set itself. So great job. This next one asks you to draw a Venn diagram. I do believe in my labs, in order to draw a Venn diagram, I don't think there are any questions where they ask you to fill in the regions. I think they're all multiple choice. So that takes some of the fun out of it. But if I'm drawing a Venn diagram for this, how many loops do I need?
3.
And when you draw those loops, it's important that you label them. Where do I start filling it in? The middle, is there anything common to all 3 sets?
No.
No, so nothing goes in there. Is there anything common to A and B?
C and D.
C and D, I like it. Is there anything common to B and C? E. Is there anything common to A and C?
A.
A. Set A contains A, C, D. Are we missing anything?
B.
Set B contains C, D, E. We're missing F. Set C contains A, E, and H. And the universal set contains A, B, C, D, E, F. Oh, we need to add in G. And now either using those roster definitions or the Venn diagram. A prime, A complement is what's outside of A. What would be outside of A?
F, E, H, and G.
And you need to put those commas in between and put it in braces. Can't remember in my labs if that's something where you fill in the blanks or if it's something that multiple choice. Be careful in my labs if it is a fill in the blank one with letters. See if that fine print is there, order matters. What's a union B?
B, A, C, D, F, E.
Yeah.
B, A, C, D, F, E? I heard it wrong for a second, I'm sorry. Next one is, whoops, A complement intersect C. So we're going to start this with A complement, which we found already.
You have a union symbol?
Yeah, union. Did I say intersection? I'm sorry. It is a union. I apologize. And when I union it with C, I want to add everything that's in C. And so in C, we have to add A, E's in there already, H is in there already. Next one, A intersect B. When I compare A and B, what's their intersection?
C and D.
C and D, beautiful. Next one is A union B complement. If you're somebody who uses the list, we've got A union B is B, A, D, C, F, E. The complement of that, we take them out. But I'm kind of that person that I think sometimes with these, the picture's worth 1,000 words. A up. Let's try it again.
Would this one just be G and H?
Yep. A union B is what's inside the snowman. The complement is what's outside the snowman, so that would be G and H. Same way, the next one is A union C intersect B. Well, A, oh Lord, I've got to stop trying to play with my pens. A union C is here, inside the yellow. The complement of that is what's outside F and G. And when I look for where the complement intersects B, I just get F. So what's outside of the union and inside B. And then what's the answer for number 21? How many things are in A?
4.
4. How's that one?
The only one that tripped me up was 20, and I knew it. I knew it was going to.
Okay. Well, if you don't like referring to the Venn diagram, what I would do is I'd first say what's in A union B. And A union B is all of A, B, C, D, plus all of I'm sorry, it's A union C, all of A, B, C, D, plus all of C. So I'm going to add the E and H. And then I want to see what it has in common with B. B is C. I took the complement and I shouldn't have.
Because I got C, D, E, and H.
Yeah, you're right. I took the complement. I think I saw the complement symbol from above. We're looking for what the union has in common with B, not the complement of the union. So you're right. That is C, D, E.
Okay.
Okay. And so when I compare it with,
H wouldn't be in there.
no, because H is not inside of B. We're saying what's inside of A combined with C and also in B. A combined with C is the, and so where does it overlap with B? I'm sorry, I don't know why I took the complement of that.
If a question like just question 20 comes in the exam as to show my work, do I have to do all the process of writing down all the individual sets to show how I got my answer?
You have to write something down to show how you got your answer, whether it's a Venn diagram or listing the set, or even just you can write me a half a sentence telling me what you did. Okay.
Okay.
Next one is real similar, but the Venn diagram is drawn already. Do you guys want me to shut up for a minute and let you work on these 6 questions and then go back over them?
Yeah.
Okay. While you do that, I just remembered something that I forgot to do with the other section yesterday that I have to do with you today.
Oh, Mr. Ella, I'm here, by the way.
Who is me? Who is it?
Connor.
Connor? Okay, thanks, Connor. Why is that project in there twice? Oh, I know. I've seen it twice. Connor, what time did you get in here?
Like 8:15, 8:10, somewhere around there.
Okay, I'm asking everybody else, do we count him as late or do we count him as present? What do you think?
Who was
President, of
Who
course.
was present?
President? All right, you guys are generous.
Thank you.
I didn't come in here till like 8:04.
Who is that?
Me, Jackson.
Jackson?
He could be late though. No, I'm kidding.
Jackson, what's your last name?
Mitchell.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank you for letting me know.
Just for that, we'll mark him an hour early.
On question 13,
Yeah?
I only said that they're like, okay, so I printed it out and did it. And I only wrote that there was 8 subsets. I didn't list them all out.
Uh-huh.
If we get a question like this on the exam, do I have to list out each subset, or
If it asks you to list them, you do have to list them out. but realize it's in my math lab, so it'll be clear that they want you to list it. There'll be either a space for you to list it, or I do believe in my labs, it might even be a multiple choice question.
Okay.
Okay?
We could print this out.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's in handouts.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I thought the numbers had to be in order.
In labs, they want them in order. Technically, they don't have to be in order. Thank you for keeping me honest.
I could do them.
How'd I do? And I need to ask you guys, because you're doing a good job checking on me, because I'm not awake this morning.
For 23, wouldn't 11 be in there too?
23, no, because over here, B Union C is the whole snowman type of thing, but we're looking for the intersection with A.
Oh my God.
Okay, so it's got to be in common with A. When I used to give these as on-campus test, they were each worth 2 points, and with those 2 points, what if you were either just missing one element, or if you just had one element extra. If you're off by one element, I gave you half credit. However, if you were off by more than one element, then you did not get credit. And so that idea of partial credit.
Is 24, is that 5 for V?
Oh, this is 11.
Oh, 11? Okay.
Yeah.
It looks like a V.
Sorry.
I don't understand how how 4 would intersect with B and A.
Okay, 24?
Yeah.
24, the intersection of B and A, what B and A have in common are 1 and 6.
Okay, I get that.
When I take the union with C, I'm taking what A and B have in common, which is 1 and 6. But then union C means I'm adding absolutely everything from C into it. That union means add it in, include it all.
You're marrying them together. That's what I say in my head.
Okay, but I'm looking at B intersects A. So I'm picking the 1, the 6, the 8, and the 11.
Mm-hmm. So first we're doing the intersection, which is the 1 and the 6.
Right.
And then after we take the intersection, we're adding all of C.
I gotcha.
Because we're taking the intersection with C.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Did I scribble on that one enough yet?
Yeah, no, that's good. I gotcha. Okay. That makes sense now.
Next one is like the one we looked at. What are the regions that are included? In my labs, I think this is just a yes/no question. And so if it's just a yes/no question and all I have is a yes or a no, that's not going to hold its weight, even if it is correct. With this one, it's bare minimum. I would want to know what regions are included. So at its bare minimum, if I look for A complement intersect B union C, we're saying what's outside of A and in B and C. So A complement intersect B union C would be regions 3, 4, and 7. And then on the other side, A complement intersect B, outside of A, inside of B would be 3, and 6. And then I want to take that union A complement intersect C. A complement intersect C is 6 and 7, so I'm adding 7. So these are the regions on the right, these are the regions on the left. And so yes, it is a theorem. When we did these in class, we spent a little bit more time slowly developing the regions. If you want partial credit, the more work you show, the more partial credit you get. So for example, if these were off, you know, you'd maybe get half credit because I could see that you came up with regions, you did some of the work. If that wasn't there at all and all I had was a yes, no answer, you would only get 1/10 of the value of the question. I want to see the work with that. Okay?
Could you explain again what's the definition of a theorem?
It's something that's always true. The question is it a theorem? So your final answer is just yes. A theorem?
It's always true.
It's something that you can prove is always true.
Okay.
For something to be a theorem, you have to be able to prove that it's true for all instances. And what we did with the general Venn diagram is a proof. We're saying that whenever I have 3 sets, it's these regions, it's the same regions, the stuff in the same regions for both, so it must be true, no matter what my sets are.
Okay.
Okay, and it's actually the distributive property of intersection over union, in case you're interested. In one of my other classes, my math for education majors, we were looking at sets last night, and we did go through and give names to some of those. They don't prove them, but they name them. You guys don't name them, but you prove them. So between the 2 classes, I've got all the bases covered. Okay, question 25 says, a survey of 1,200 American adults was taken to analyze their investments. Of those surveyed, 650 invested in stocks, 550 in bonds, 300 in both. How many invested in only stocks? How many invested in stocks or bonds? How many did not invest in either? Oh, God. What would you guys do to answer this?
Start from the end of the words, create a Venn diagram, and start from the bottom and work your way up.
I really like those words, create a Venn diagram. Was everybody thinking that same way?
Yeah.
So I'll call this S for stocks, this B for bonds. 300 in both. 550 in bonds. So we'll subtract. 650 in stocks. So we'll subtract. That adds up to 650, 750, 850, 900. And when I take the 1,200 minus the 900, I've got 300 left over. So how many invested in only stocks?
350.
How many invested in either stocks or bonds?
100?
Pardon?
Is it the 300 in the middle?
The 300 would be if it were the word and.
Oh, okay. So you're looking for or. Okay.
That got me too.
So it'll be 900.
Oh, okay.
Stocks or bonds means they could be stocks, they could be bonds, they could be both, or the union. And how many did not invest in either?
300.
300.
How'd you find the 350 and 250 again?
We know that for the 350, we know that the whole stock circle has to get up to 650.
Yeah.
So we took the 650, and then we saw that there were 300 in there already. So we had to subtract out what was in there already.
Okay.
Okay?
I have a question.
Sure.
We were just on 28. Wouldn't this be 29? Did you have 25?
Yeah, I apologize. What happened? I've been recycling this review for, oh God, promise you won't yell at me, a few years now, and it's cut and paste together from different things, so I apologize. I can do math. I can't. Well, I can do math. I have never fully mastered the software program Microsoft Word. So I can't get the numbering quite right. You're right. This should be question number 29, and then this next one should be 30. And this next one doesn't even have a number on it.
Okay.
Right. So this next one says, winter resort, 350 visitors to see what they liked. They like to ski, snowboard, ice skate. Some like to ski and snowboard. Some like to ski and ice skate. Some like to snowboard and ice skate. And some like to do all three. Draw a Venn diagram to answer the questions.
We'll need 3 circles.
I must say, I really like these word problems.
You do?
I do.
These word problems are the ones that make me feel like I'm losing it.
Oh, no. Well, I'll tell you what, your project is going to be making your own word problem type of situation.
I don't really like the letter stuff, like A, union, this, that.
Yeah, that too. All of it.
I rather these words.
Where do I begin?
In the middle.
Middle.
What goes there?
2.
2.
2 like to snowboard and ice skate. Board and skate. What number goes here?
2.
Oh, aren't there 2 in there already?
Yeah,
So
that'd be
do you
0.
have an idea?
Track 17.
15 like to ski and skate. Ski and skate. So that has to add up to 15. How many are in there already? 2.
2.
So we need 13 more.
Yep.
49 like to ski and snowboard. That's supposed to add up to 49, so we need 47 more. 57 like to ice skate. But we've got, what, 15 in there already? So we need 42 more.
Yeah.
154 like to snowboard. God bless their souls. Those are insane people. Right now, there are 49 people. And so when I subtract, I need 105 more. 178 like to ski. Right now we have 62. And so I need 116 more.
Yeah.
The number we didn't use yet is the 350. Whole thing adds up to 350. We've got 178, 180, 128, 325 in there already. So where should I put those 25 leftover people?
The universe.
The universe. Those are people like my husband that would be sitting by the fire drinking a hot toddy, right? Oh boy.
And you, of course.
So now, what? No, actually, I don't do it often, but like once a year, I like to ski downhill. And my sister used to go with me. She's too busy. I never leave the bunny hill, and I go very slow, but it's fun. And getting off the lift is the most challenging part for me. And I do like to ice skate. He and I used to go ice skating a lot of in the winter midweek, but he's decided that he's too old to ice skate, so he won't go with me anymore.
I can roller skate, but I cannot ice skate for the life of me.
Roller skating and ice skating. I learned how to ice skate first, so I can ice skate, not roller skate, but I can rollerblade because they're different motions.
Yeah.
Yeah, one you push out off sideways, one you have to keep your feet straight. So, but okay, how many like exactly one? What would you do to say exactly one activity? Who would you include?
Would you do the 116, 105, and 42? Or would you involve?
And are you? Go ahead.
Oh, never mind. Well,
Is
because
everybody right if I just write that out and don't bother adding?
Yeah.
How many like none of them?
25.
Beautiful. How many liked at least 2? This one's tricky because at least means 2 or more. I hate getting rid of the list of faces, but I think I have to here. So 2 would be the 13, the 47, and the 0. But then more, we have to include that 2 in the middle. Snowboard and ice skating. The word "and" works like the intersection. So we want the intersection of snowboarding without ice skating.
And was union.
What?
I thought and was union.
And is intersection, or is union. And both have to be true at the same time. It's a logical and. Or it can be one or the other or both. So or is union, and is ice skate. Can I tell you how I remember that and is intersection?
Yeah.
Well, I've taken logic, and so the symbol for the word and is like a carrot up, which looks like the intersection, which you can turn into an A for and, as opposed to or union, you can turn, so that the intersection symbol you can turn into an A, which makes it and.
Okay. That's good to know.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, and that was actually logic, and is a carrot up, or is a carrot down. And so logic is very similar to what you do with sets.
So intersection means and.
Right.
Intersection also means and.
Yeah. And so that would be the intersection outside of skiing is 0. As opposed to the union of snowboarding and ice skating outside of skiing is 42 plus 0 plus 105. And how many liked, we already answered that. How many liked none of them? We did already. How many liked just skiing? Once it's skiing? And I feel bad, I'm scrolling back and forth to get both the Venn diagram and the questions in. Do those make sense, folks? And then 33, I think I might have put 1 or 2 of these on the homework. I don't remember if I put them on the test or not. When it was an in-class test, I made this an extra credit question. I want to know what's shaded.
Region 1.
But in terms of symbols, do you see what's not shaded is C? So the C complement, but then we're adding back in the inside of B. Otherwise, I guess it would be if you're doing it by regions, it's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 8. There's a lot of regions that are shaded. But does it make sense? Because most of C is white. We're looking at C complement, and then the part that we're taking out of putting back in is what's inside of B.
Is that it, or is there more?
What?
Is that it? Is it just
That's it.
Oh, I was wondering too.
That's it.
Okay.
Now let's see, where do I want to go? I'm going to go back into Blackboard. In Blackboard, not in my labs, in content. There is a folder that is called projects. In that project folder, there is project 1, which is surveys, which is due a week from today. I'd like to walk you through the project. And then the other thing that's in there is a Dropbox to upload it.
So that's all the questions we have in the
test will be questions like those, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
How many questions you said?
Pardon me?
How many questions was there?
You know what? Let me, on my other computer, let me pull up the test and I can tell you exactly how many my math lab
Difference doesn't make. Just when you go take the test, you'll figure it out.
Well, if, in case somebody wants to know.
Okay.
Some of them have alphabet soup parts. But
Yeah, I want to get my mind ready for the amount of questions that I have to do.
Yeah, makes sense. Does everybody see where the project handout is, though, in Blackboard as I'm going through it looking at this?
Yeah.
Set test, list questions, and so there are 31 questions on the test. Okay, but you know, on the thing we just went over, there were questions with, you know, multiple parts that, you know, each, in some of those, each part is a separate question. There's 31 questions.
Okay.
So, all right, for this project, you have to decide on a topic for a survey. When you, anything that interests you. You have to come up with 3 questions to ask the people that you are interviewing. When you look at your 3 questions, realize that you want those questions to be ones that have like yes, no answers. So you might ask, rather, if you're asking people how old they are, rather than saying how old they are, you might ask, are you over 20 or are you 20 or under? You want to set up your questions so that you can use a loop for the Venn diagram to organize them. I once had somebody who made a very ornate survey, and they went through and they asked people like, what's your favorite color? And if I were to ask, what's your favorite color? Is everybody all right? Depending on how creative somebody is, there could be hundreds of answers to that question.
Yeah.
That's not a good way of asking it, because we don't want a Venn diagram with 100 possibilities. Instead, if I was asking people about their favorite color, I might say, is your favorite color blue? And then in a Venn diagram, either they like blue or they don't. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to ask 3 questions. You have to interview at least 20 people. And I want you to give me a record of the people you interviewed, because I want to make sure that you didn't just make them up. You're going to construct a Venn diagram to sort the answers. You're actually going to come up with 2 Venn diagrams. You have to turn in your questions. That's worth 5 points. Your responses, that's worth 5 points. 2 Venn diagrams, so that's 5 points each, that's 10 points. and a brief written report. Brief written report is like a paragraph explaining what you learned.
What's gonna be on the two different Venn diagrams?
We're going to show you. I put an example in it, but in order to scroll through this document, I have to clear what I just wrote. So my example, I asked people, what's your gender? Again, I know that's politically incorrect. That's going in a world where people are either male or female. I need to update this. Then I asked, is your age 20 or over? And the most important question you could ask anybody is, are you taking a math class, right? And so this, I didn't do the whole list of 20 responses, but you see how here I started a list of
who said what and who's who.
Right. Then for my two Venn diagrams, oh, this didn't turn out well. First Venn diagram, I'm going to just put the loops, and I'm not going to put the number of people, but I'm just going to describe the people in each region. So over here in the middle, it would be males 20 or over who are in a math class. In this region, it would be males 20 or over, not in a math class. And you see how I'm taking each of those 8 regions and describing who's in them.
Mm-hmm.
Then in the second Venn diagram, where'd that go? I lost it. In the second Venn diagram, what we put in is your actual survey results. So I'd have no idea where that went. Here it is, second Venn diagram. I don't know why those broke up when I opened it, I'm sorry. Second Venn diagram, I would just label each region with a cardinality.
Do you want us to like type it up on a Word document like that, or would it be okay if we draw it out really nice and neat? And
if you are a glutton for punishment, you can type it, but you don't have to.
Okay.
I hate typing math myself, but I know I have bad penmanship, so I typed this for you folks. Draw it by hand. You're going to be taking a picture of your work. I guess if you're really serious and you want to type it, you can upload a Word document or a Google Doc. You don't have to. You can draw it by hand. And then it's really important that you write a paragraph saying what you learned.
Perfect. Thank you.
The paragraph is worth 5 points. I want to say that this project kind of shows you a little way, one of the ways in which sets can be useful. Hopefully because you get to pick what you ask people about, it's interesting to you and the results are interesting to you. Usually people do really well on these projects. The people who do poorly on the projects are the people who do not turn them in, or on this project, the people who miss a part. So for example, if you don't tell me what your questions are, write a sentence, my questions are, that's worth 5 points. My responses are, give me the list of responses, that's worth 5 points. Each Venn diagram is worth 5 points, so that adds up to 10 points, and your paragraph is worth 5 points. The place where people are penalized most is they get the paragraph. A lot of people don't bother with that. Do the paragraph. And when you do your Venn diagram, make sure your numbers add up right. If you surveyed 20 people, the total of the numbers on the Venn diagram should be 20. All right?
And it has to be 20 people?
At least 20 people. You can do more if you want, but you can't do less. So that's another thing, like over here, record your responses if it has to be at least 20 people. If you don't have 20 people, then you'll only get like 4 out of the 5 points or something like that. Okay?
Okay.
So any questions on the project? Once you do it,
do they have to be 3 circles or for the Venn diagram?
Because you're asking 3 questions, you will have a loop for each question. And then
So-
when you're done with it, upload it to the, over here. Go ahead.
So when you said record, like, what they, like, are you supposed to, like, write their name and, like, write what they, like, say?
You don't have to put like first name, last name, but put something there so that I know that there were real people behind this. I guess if there aren't real people behind this, at least you put forth the effort of making up a name for each person. I don't know. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions on anything else today? Okay, do that test. Please make sure you get it done by midnight tomorrow. You have 75 minutes for it. To the best of my knowledge, nobody in this class has given me a form that you need accommodations. If you need accommodations and extra time, you have to get that information to me ASAP so that I can put it into my labs for you. Please submit your answers in a timely fashion. If there's a question in my mind about the originality of the answers, I'm going to look and make sure that they were submitted within a half an hour of you finishing the test. Actually, hopefully it would be within 10 minutes of you finishing the test. The half hour is in case the technology doesn't work. In my math for education majors, they submitted a homework assignment to me the other day. And a lot of them, it says they submitted something, but it didn't come through. If that's the case for you, I'll send an email. So please, 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 even after you take your picture, do not throw away your work in case there's a problem. Again, please submit it in Blackboard because in Blackboard, it's safe. In email, it gets lost. All right?
All right, thank you.
Okay, have a great day. If anybody has any questions for me, please stick around and ask.